Welcome and good afternoon, maybe even good morning, depending on where you are in the world right now. I'm Jason Swain and this is the knockout stages, and we are live from the University of Wolverhampton for a great day of elite sport on the international stage. We'll look at the teams just coming out any second now. On your screen you can see the flag bearers ready for these teams to come out. In a second we'll be going through the national anthem. Plenty of news to tell you about this one, as we see the Ukrainian players so passionate about their country. They're already covered in a flag each. They will face Spain, just as intense. They face the challenge of the #1 seeded Ukraine. We'll let the national anthems play out. We'll listen to them respectfully, and then we'll be back with you in a second.
First of all, the national anthem of Spain!
So the national anthems impeccably observed by both players, fans, managers alike here at the University of Wolverhampton on the Walsall campus. Earlier today, Turkey emphatically disposed of France 7-1 in the pursuit of 5th spot in the world rankings. However, our focus right now shifts to the race for the chance to win it all. It's the first of 2 semi-finals to be played today, and one of these teams will have the chance to compete in the final tomorrow. We'll look at both teams. First of all, waiting to get it on the monitor. We'll start with Team Ukraine, the first ranked team in the world. Number 1, Roman Skotnikov. Number 3, Ilya Lubashev. Number 11, Ivan Hutz. Number 2, Oleg Hetmanov. Number 5, Oleg Avramov. Subs, Robert Tremba, Vidam Shvets, Artem Shashny, Anton Pavlenko, Anton Humanik, the head coach, Mikola Chekhailo. Number 1 team in the world. They will take on the recent success of yesterday's women's team will be in their mind. They will take on Spain. Number 1, George Leopold Torres Fernandez. Number 10, Saúl Zamora Martinez. Number 4, Mark Lados Cruz. Number 9, Juan Miguel Fuentes Cornejo. Number 11, Juan Antonio Almeida Galvez. The substitutes, Julian Martin, Oliver Rodriguez Canestro, Carlos Garcia Mendez, Daniel Garcia Trevelin, Eduardo Jose Fuentes Cornejo, Hector Garcia Cerda, Amin Dresabarada, and the head coach is Xavi Gonzalez. There you have it. They are the starting 5s, and there are your lineups for Team Ukraine and Team Spain. So, Ukraine coming through Group B, having only played 2 games, but with a perfect winning record, scoring 3 goals per contest and yet to concede. A well-oiled machine, to say the least. Players to watch for Ukraine. Oleg Hetmanov, 3 goals in 2 games. Spain, founders of this competition in so many ways. The IBSA World Games first took place in Madrid in 1998. Here we go. Ukraine playing left to right, get the game underway. It's a good diagonal ball and a good header and an early chance to score, and already into action. The goalkeeper George Torres called upon, and it's an important save to keep this at 0-0, but what a flying start, and how good is the intent by these Ukrainians. Ball goes back across, a second shot coming in. And number 3, Ilya Lubashev, really stinging the shot in against the number 11, Juan Antonio Almeida Galvez. He took that one right on the thigh. This game is bound to be physical. The Ukraine's known for both their skill and also their physicality. The ball comes right. Oleg Almarov, he goes down the side. The number 2 with the back heel. It didn't quite come off for Oleg Hetmanov on that occasion. The ball is played to number 9, and off goes the diminutive Fuentes Cornejo, and there was nearly a opening goal. And what a start by both teams. And the Spaniards can't believe it that didn't find the net. Saúl Zamora found himself. Was it a handball? There's an advantage being given. They want it bringing back, but clearly a good decision by the referee. The advantage was played, and Saúl Zamora couldn't take advantage, and he knows that should have been 1-0. Corner ball down the left-hand side will be taken by the Spaniard, Juan Miguel Fuentes Cornejo. No, he'll bring it back. The referee insisting that that's a kick-in from approximately 10 yards behind the corner. The ball goes down, it goes across. It's with Miguel Fuentes. The number 4 had a great game the other day, Cruz. And the ball is well shielded. Cruz on the ball again, he'll open strike. And he's close, and nerves are running high already. You can feel the intensity in this building. But both teams getting quick shots on goal, and Cruz not far off as he bends that one round that left corner. Coming forward again in the Ukrainians. Number 9, Fuentes Cornejo, just knocked that ball out, and it will be played in by Ivan Hutz on that left side. Over to Hetmanov. He'll spray that ball wide. And off they go again down that right-hand side, and cut out by Cruz. Given away by Cornejo. He'll try win it back, and once again, if this game is anything to go by right here, we've had 2 shots on goal from each team. What a start. Both teams going for the jugular. We have a man down. He's been caught in the midsection. You can clearly see that on screen. Maybe not wanting to speculate, but maybe the stretch caused some sort of a groin injury. He does walk off, and it does look like That turn, it's unfortunate for Almedio Galvez. Onto the field of play, an earlier start than he wanted is the number 3, Canestro. Canestro takes the ball on. It's well cut out by the number 2, Hetmanov. He's involved in every single thing, and a good tackle by Cornejo. Good play by both of these teams. High intensity. The fans making a lot of noise. We've only been 2 minutes, nearly gone. And it's so intense in this building. We're live from the University of Wolverhampton. If you think it's quite warm outside, the atmosphere is even hotter on this blue rubber down here. What a game. Cornejo will start off the Spanish play. He'll knock it into the middle. It comes across to Cruz. Cruz heavily involved in so many things in this Spanish team's group stages. He knocks the ball, it goes out, and possession so important as the Ukrainians go 4 on 4 off. And we're going to have to figure out who's come on in a short space of time. Tremba has the ball, he's one of the substitutes. Tries to find the number 7, Spets, doesn't get to his feet. Also entering the game, Havalenko. And the number 9 is the final sub, Artem Shazny. Ball is with Canestro, he knocks it wide. The number 10, Zamora, is on the right hand side. He's a handful for anybody. Saul Zamora, that is. He tracks the ball down. He's going up against the number 9, Artem Shazny. Shazny goes again. He looks for the return ball, and the keeper did some excellent work there. And George Torres really making a decisive play there, and the ball goes out of bounds. And it will be back to the Spaniards. They can breathe for maybe a split second. The ball is out to Zamora. He'll put it through the legs. He's very tricky, and the Ukrainians will know all about that. It's a good ball to Cornejo. Cornejo, the little magician, is in the middle. He knocks the ball back. It's a nice touch, and the Spaniards are playing their style of play. Get the ball, pass the ball. Oh, and a corner kick is going to come into play. No, it's not given. But Zamora with another good chance, stretching on the right foot, possibly just out of reach, but somehow fashions a really good strike across goal. Unlucky by the youngster. It's a good ball, and the space is with the Ukrainians. It's down the left-hand side, deep into the corner. It's well tackled by Cornejo, who's really putting himself about. It's back to Tremba. Tremba knocks it inside. It'll come across, and Shazny won't be able to reach that one. The Spaniards really defending by committee. Zamora will put the ball back in. It will be with Canestro. Canestro to Cruz, back to Canestro, back to the right hand side. Cornejo will take over. He'll be simple, he'll knock it back to Canestro. Canestro has it again. It's over to Zamora, and Zamora possibly is the man to unlock that defence. He wanted his players to let him know that there was a man on. Not too much communication, emotions running high as you would expect. There's that man, and a bad ball at the end of it, but a very clever run by Robert Tremba as he makes the run across that box. And substitutions, all 4 again. It seems like a good ploy into the game. Garcia Mendez, who's on the ball right now. Number 2, Serda, it will come to him on the left hand side. Back to Mendez. It's forward to the lone striker. Goes out of bounds, and he takes a tumble. And the physical play there by the big number 7 as they go off. Number 5, Daniel Garcia Crevelian, is into the game. Back in the game, Hetmanov. And I know we are going to struggle keeping up with all these substitutions, as both these teams like to keep their legs fresh and go 4 for 4. It's a good run again, and the Ukrainians, that's a strategy that they're looking at, getting that ball down that right hand side and getting him behind the Spanish defence. Right now, no score, but could have easily have been either team going in front. It's a bad ball by the number 2, Hector Garcia Serda. The Ukrainians will have the ball deep in their own half down the left side. The ball is played in. It's back to Hetmanov. He plays the ball out and it's not controlled. A very big ask, really, for Lubashev to then control that. The ball will come back to the number 6 and it'll be at the feet of Mendez. Mendez sprays that ball wide to Serda. Serda loses out to the number 5, Almarov. And Avramov will come back out. Serda plays it. It's a little bit of a late tackle. It's a good ball and Serda goes again. He's made 2 intelligent runs now already. He's having a good impact and settling down in the process. The ball will be at the feet of Mendez. Mendez sprays it wise to Serda. Sound like a broken record, but that's the style of play. But he loses out and suddenly emphatic about how his team's defending. There's no coincidence that Spain are at this point. Just the pride they have in their defensive play is what they're displaying right now. A tough opposition to break down and also a great team going forward. It's with the number 7, the big number 7 who takes a massive shot. And there's some power behind Vadim Shvets as he lets unleash. So, as the way the world works, sometimes technical issues happen. We apologise if we lost you for a while. good news is you didn't miss anything. It's still a stalemate in this one with 12 minutes remaining in the first half. It's Ukraine 0, Spain 0. There have been chances earlier on in the game. The first couple of minutes, both teams threatened, but here's a chance. Mendes will get it onto his right foot, and it will cannon out of bounds, and sigh of relief there for Roman Skotnikov, the goalkeeper, who's letting his team know what he thinks. More organisation, please, around that penalty area. Both teams highly competitive, and just to let you know, if this one does stay 0-0, then it will go to penalties. Anything can happen in those stages. A straight knockout game with a chance to go into the final and a chance to compete for all the marbles. The ball is out, a bit of a wayward shot there by Mendes. You can't blame him for letting go. An errant ball in the field, it will soon be picked up and knocked off. And here we go, we're back to play. The Ukrainians will come forward. We're nearly halfway through this first half. It's gone by like a flash. Someone once said, time flies when you're having fun. And that's exactly what everyone in this building is doing. This game is end to end. 2 chances for each team. Could have gone either way. But stalemate, as we say, as the ball is given away. And in this game, possession is 9/10 of the law. A high standard. Any ball given away as there's a collision off the ball, and the referee said he will allow the physical play but nothing illegal, as the Ukrainians will have a chance to set one up. He'll make sure it goes back to the right spot, and we're about 2 meters inside the Spanish half, as standing over the ball is Oleg Hetmanov. He has the chance to unleash one. He goes down the left hand side, and good defending by the smaller Cornejo, and substitutions by the Spanish team. And look at the enthusiasm as they run on. Cruz will have the ball. Zamora may get this ball. He will on the left, and he's licking his lips at the challenge ahead. He's buzzing around that field of play. Doesn't get the ball back, but you can tell the body language of Zamora. Give me the ball and let me make things happen. Definitely a difference maker, and these difference makers and big players in games like this have to stand up. The Ukrainians give the ball away, and such is the high level of their play. They're absolutely livid of giving the ball away. It doesn't happen often. It would be a kicking, it may as well be a corner. It's only half a foot out. It goes to Cruz. Cruz will knock it back to Zamora. It will go across. It will go back across. Cornejo will take over. The number 9 plays it right. It's back to Cruz. Taking their time, working methodically. The ball goes back to Cornejo. He'll have a shot. To be quite honest, I don't see Roman Skotnikov being beat from there. There is a timeout called, and it's by the Ukrainians team. So what a start we've had here. We're just under the 10-minute mark gone. We have 10 minutes 35 to play when we come back. It's Ukraine 0, Spain 0. Everybody have a chance to breathe. So as we're watching the replays, both teams had a chance to talk strategy in their timeouts. How important will the little coaching decisions in terms of strategy be? It's obviously going to be a very, very tight game. Earlier today, the race for 5th place in terms of 5th, 6th and 7th to be decided saw the French team go down 7-1 to Turkey. I'm not sure we can ever imagine one of these semi-finals finishing that score. However, with 30 minutes just over remaining in this one, who knows, but I can't see anybody getting blown out in this semi-final. Ukraine knocked the ball around nicely. It's fizzing around in their own half. The number 3, Lubachev, sends it down the line. Good pressure by Cruz without committing the foul. The number 11 for Spain, they're just not letting their players turn. Galvez, and it's a nice touch, and Cornejo kills that ball. There's Galvez with probably the worst touch we've seen of the game. Hammers that ball out. But Cornejo has been impressive so far. The threat of Zamora is always there, but the Ukrainians, fine, well-oiled machine, have had their fair share of challenges in their country over the past couple of years. They're out here representing their country so well. A good tackle there by the number 3, Lubachev. He's putting himself about. The ball is at the feet of Cruz. You'll have the easy task of playing that ball to Zamora. Always a safe bet. Zamora just dips the shoulder and goes back inside, being patient from when he can go. He picks the ball up now, and he always has a trick up his sleeve. Tried to go through the legs of Hutz. Hutz was way ahead of him and puts that ball out. It's back to Cruz. Goes over to Canestro. Into Cornejo, who mishandles the ball, and he gets lumped onto the ground for his troubles. Ukrainians just letting you know that we will be physical and we will play hard. And it's at the feet of the number 2 for Ukraine. It's a good tackle again by Cornejo. The Spanish team appeal for the ball. It's not given. It's with the men in yellow. Such a beautiful kit is the yellow, all yellow shirts, shorts and socks. It's fired in and somehow does not end up in the net. And I think the big number 3 coming across, Lubachev, as we see it on the replay, would have caused some havoc for the goalie, but he must have been sighted to see that ball. Zamora cuts inside. Number 5, Oleg Avramov, is doing an absolutely stellar job. He's not let Zamora face him up at any point. He's giving him a couple of yards. And all young players watching in the game of football know your personnel. He knows the skill of Zamora. He knows if he gets too close, he'll be made to look foolish. So he's sagging off. Right there again, look, he's doing an exceptional job. Zamora slips in for this time, but he's in. Oh, and what a save, and it's a goal! The ball somehow has gone in, and it looked like the keeper, who's hurt in the process, it looked like George Torres had that one covered, but through went Oleg Avramov, and he went through, and did he finish well? Looked like he was out of position, but the turning pace and the overall power ricocheted off him. But did he deserve it? Yes, he did. It's Ukraine 1, Spain 0. The Spaniards want a free kick, but nothing doing. VAR not yet reached the partially insighted game. So here we go, 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's 1-0 to Ukraine. Well intercepted by the big number 7. It does ricochet off Cruz, but the referee allows the Spaniards to take the ball in from the right-hand side. And Vadim Shvets playing as a lone striker here for the Ukrainians will look to put himself about. We saw Jean Gurry, even though he went down for France in that last game, play a similar role. Physicality and skill all mixed in one. Cruz will have the ball from the sideline for the Spaniards. He'll control it and look ahead. Canestro to his right. He'll pick up the ball, he'll give it straight back to Cruz. Spaniards just look to be running out of ideas, and Shvets is in on goal, and it's an absolutely thunderous challenge. And giving some of his own medicine there, and that will be a Spain ball. But what a tackle by Almeida Galvez, the number 11. Came across and prevented a sure goal as Cornejo takes it over. He has Galvez wide on the right. He'll pass the ball to him. It's back to Cornejo, and it just looks like this Ukrainian team are so well organised in defence. It's going to be tough to break them down. A sliding tackle by the number 4, Robert Tremba. And the referee is just going to calm things down as into the game comes Havlenko. Oh, inside he goes. But too much to do. Trying to beat 3 players is probably not going to work. Saul Zamora will do his best, but it's probably not the best idea. Is this Ukrainian team. Down the line he goes, and a tackle from behind, but deemed a fair one. As Zamora giving as much as he's going to get. The game is starting to get a little bit chippy, which you would expect with so much at stake. These athletes working hard all year in terms of world rankings, friendlies, whatnot coming up to this. And this is the world game, so couldn't be on a bigger stage. It's cut out by the number 9 for Ukraine as he goes down the byline. Is this a chance? It was a great cross by Shazny, and Avramov just couldn't get there. Already scored one, fancied his chances for another. Into the game, Lubashev. Household substitutes for the Spaniards once again. Cornejo on the right hand side. Comes across and Mendes won't reach that ball. As it sails out. It was a bad one from the normally impressive Canestro. Usually the tactics of Spain have been 4 on 4 off, and then come the second half, it's whoever is getting the job done. It's a yellow card to the Spanish bench, and you don't like to see that in any sport because the referees going over and applying the letter of the law, but you have to also understand emotions are running high. Sometimes you have to walk away and not hear what's been said because these athletes and their coaches, so much preparation, so much effort put in. They want to leave it all out there, and tempers at times will boil over. As long as it doesn't turn into physicality, no problem, bring it on. Mendes passes the ball, Canestro goes back, now it's Cornejo on the other side. Cornejo plays a great ball, and a chance here. And Crevelin really tested the keeper at that point, but a good save by Roman Skotnikov, who at this time has a clean sheet so far in this tournament. Ukraine have not yet conceded, whether it be in this game or the group stages. Mendes, deep in his own territory, will inbounds this ball on the right hand side. Cornejo will flip it right. It goes back. Sorry, my mistake. Canestro will play it to Cornejo. But Crevelin lets it go on. Canestro will start play again deep in his own half. No, he'll let Cornejo take that responsibility. And Canestro will play it back to him. The centre of defence, such an important position in these games for all the teams. We saw Harry Gibbons control the game from basically the centre circle, apart from getting forward for that goal the other day. We've also seen the Spanish team do it in previous games with Cruz. Such an important role. You have the vision of the whole pitch and the movement of the players in front of you. Teams not always willing to go and get after that ball because counter-attack is always on. Japan, more or less in their last game, because of the skill of their number 10, allowed him to have the whole pitch to play one-on-one from his own goal line against the defender and got the rest of their team flattened down in the opposing penalty area. He was allowed to have the whole pitch to play one-on-one. That's how on, there's a goal out of absolutely nothing. A set piece, and the number 2, Hetamanov, really provided the goal. He crossed that ball, and it was hammered in. And what a touch, an invaluable touch by Ivan Hudson. You see that ball fly across. He was just first to react, and is that the killer blow that will send Ukraine into the finals? But back goes Mendes. He flashes that one past that post, but what a goal. Absolutely out of nothing. I was taking chance to speak about other games going on because it didn't look like there's attack, but there is the sting that the Ukrainians possess. Ball goes across to Svets. He wastes that one, but it goes all the way through into the hands of the Spanish keeper. Torres outlets the ball. Cornejo to Canestro. Canestro plays that ball in, comes to nothing. Did it touch a Ukraine player? Yes, it did. Good decision by the referee. Mendes will track the ball down. Similar position to where the goal came for Ukraine. Can Cornejo mirror that image? It's back to Mendes. It's out to Cornejo. He cuts inside. It took a deflection, did it? No, it did not. It's a Ukraine ball. And the Spaniards will be wanting to get into half-time and really discuss maybe making some changes, because right now there is no breaking down this yellow submarine. Svets, a great turn. Holds the ball up well, crosses the ball, and that is great play by the number 7, Vadim Svets, trying to bring his team into play. Beautiful hold-up play by the big fella. Canestro out to the wing. Cornejo now has switch flanks. He'll make his buddy Canestro go get it. Doesn't seem too happy about that, but at least the Spaniards retain possession. Mendes will knock it back, but it looks like a lot of nice, intricate play, but with no real piercing into that Ukrainian defence. It's a good ball inside, and maybe the 1-2 is the way to do it, as Mendes is the live wire. Cornejo back to Mendes. Through the legs of the Ukrainian defender. Canestro plays it. Oh, and that was the chance. And it was a great ball. And on this occasion, Mendes should have scored. What a ball by Canestro with his left foot. Precision splits the defence. And Mendes will want that one back. Poor finish. And those are the chances that need to go in. Ukrainians knocking the ball round well. It's good hold-up play. They've had that from whoever's playing up front. This time it's the number 9. As it's robbed by Mendes. He loses out possession. And as soon as any of these teams lose the ball, they're back on it. Kind of counter-pressing. It's a late tackle by Cornejo. Don't think it was intentional. But he picks up sportingly the number 9, Szczasny. Szczasny will go out. And once again, we'll have many changes. This Ukrainian team, but just caught him late. But I must say, the competitiveness of these games has been off the chart. But to match that, the sportsmanship and the way it's been played has been just as exceptional. It is a credit to these athletes playing football. Sometimes the beautiful game does get a little bit of stick in terms of professionalism, but these guys have just played it the right way all the way through. It's been a pleasure to watch so far. The Ukrainians will take over. It's back to their number 2, Hetamanov. He'll knock the ball back to the keeper, and they'll be in no rush to play. The keeper has to get rid of the ball. It's in the number 11. It's control. Ivan Hutz. The ball once again goes down the right-hand side, and it was a good run by Lubashev, just a little bit off time. As the ball is at the feet of the other Cornejo. Cruz is also back in. Enter the game once again, Zamora. The ball is played down the right-hand side, and it's just out. And Serda had no chance of getting to that ball. What an experience it is for these athletes from all different parts of the world. coming over to England and playing this game, and what a tackle there by Zamora. He wants the ball back. He's very, very emotional. He's definitely a live wire. And will it be him that can unlock this defence? It looks like the score is going to remain 2-0 going into the half. However, the Ukrainians have surprised us, especially with that second goal out of nothing. The ball is chipped up. Conejo heads it to safety for now, but the Ukrainians will be more than happy to play this one out as the ball is thundered behind the goals with no chance of going in, and Cruz will mount the attack for Spain. He come towards the halfway line. He's back at Cruz's feet, finding it hard to get any room in behind that Ukrainian defence, and a bad ball picked up by the Ukrainians, but it's all the way back to the keeper. It will be at the feet once again of the gazelle-like Cruz. Serda plays it back to him. 28 seconds remaining in this first half. Zamora picks it up. It's good skill to keep that ball in. He's being pressured by these Ukrainians, and he just smashes that ball out, because that is the tactics of the Ukrainians. They will let you have the ball just inside their half or just behind him. As soon as they have a sniff at going back, you're going back towards your own goal. Like vultures, they come across. And what a strike there, and another good save. But a great strike as Ilya Lubashev lined that one up. Had a good angle on that goal. We'll see it again. He didn't even think twice as it ricocheted back to him. He opened fire, and a good save by George Torres. Sorry, it's not George Torres. Julian Alonso. So, I don't think anyone expected a frantic start like that. It was not going to be a tactical match by talking to people around the arena before the game started, but what a pace it started at. Ukraine with a couple of early chances. Also Spain have had more of their fair share of possession and could have gone in for at least one goal. And it's just been about the finishing. The Ukrainians have been more clinical. At half-time, it's Ukraine 2 and Spain 0. I advise you to go get a drink, calm down a split second, and we will see you in a few minutes for the second half, all to play for. See you soon.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA Anti-Doping App has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA Anti-Doping App. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
So we're back after a short break at half-time. And we're in the University of Wolverhampton. It's the partially sighted men's competition. It's the World Games here in the Midlands in the UK. And it's Ukraine 2, it's Spain 0. It's the first semi-final of today. We have in wait the other semi-final of England against Japan. What a competition this one is, as we are looking forward also to the next game. But the story of the game so far is the Ukrainians started out the better. 2 early chances that were squandered. And then Spain had their run of about 3 or 4 minutes where they could have taken the lead, at least on 1 or 2 occasions. But Ukraine slightly more clinical in terms of finishing. Always really structured. I can't really hear myself as these teams come out. It's very loud in here. But going back to how structured this game was, both these teams really organised defensively, have the ability to unlock each other's defence, but it's just not happened for the Spaniards, and they've squandered a couple of chances. Ukraine have had a couple of chances and scored both of those, and that is the difference right now. As the players re-enter in the field of play, the Ukrainians will play this second half right to left in the all yellow. The Spaniards will come out in their familiar all red with yellow, with white shorts, with yellow numbers. They will play from left to right. Be interesting to see who starts the second half for both of these teams. It looks like Ukraine are going to go with Ilya Lubashev, prominent hold-up man up front, the number 5, one of the goal scorers, Avramov, number 2 in the central defensive position, Oleg Hetamanov, who seems to be involved in everything, the goalkeeper for Ukraine, is the number 12, he's the number 1, Roman Skotnikov. Spaniards will come out, Cruz, Denestro, Zamora, Cornejo on the right hand side. Here we go, there's 20 minutes remaining for a chance to play for the big prize in tomorrow's final. Who can come out victorious? A big uphill battle for these Spaniards as they start off possession. It goes back to Cruz, goes across to Cornejo and a nice flick. And for the first time, we see the intent for Zamora to come all the way from the left-hand side across to the right. And he wants to start making his presence felt. A little bit of a hefty challenge, and I'm not so sure it's a good idea to mess around with these Ukrainians. Everything's gone quite civil so far. It's a bit of a bad idea to poke the bear. Number 11, I didn't mention in the pre-game introductions, Ivan Hots is on the pitch. He plays the ball out. It's well contested and well applauded by the Spanish bench. They're going to have a perfect half to come back against these Ukrainians, but a good positive start by the men in red. So over to, they were looking for the 1-2, and Zamora says, okay, good idea from both him and Cruz. Ukrainians will bring it out of defence. It will be at the feet of Huts. It's a wasted ball as it goes all the way through, and good pressure by the Spaniards, not allowing Ukraine to settle on the ball, because as much as the Spaniards need to score, a third goal will surely see this one off. And Spain are aware that if they can go in possibly 1 goal down with about 10 minutes remaining, they're in a good position. The ball once again goes out, and it's good play by Cruz to apply that pressure. Cornejo will have it at his feet. It's out to Zamora. Zamora no way past The very, very impressive number 5, Avramov, who's for me has been the player of this game. He's not only scored that opening goal, he's also, wherever Zamora's been, he's kept his eye on him. He's not let him have any joy. There he is again. Zamora tries to get by. His shadow, Avramov, is right there. He'll control the ball and he'll go right. It's with Hutz. He'll move it back and Avramov will go again. It's a nice touch and he nearly found himself in a position, but a late tackle there. Just in a position, it does look like he's okay. As Cornejo says, I'm all right, and a yellow card picked up by Ivan Hutz. Lubashev standing with his hands on his hips in the centre for Ukraine, tried that flamboyant back heel, would have put Avramov through, just didn't come off for the Ukrainians. But restarting the game with just under 2 minutes gone is Cruz. It's a touch by Cornejo, and for me, they need to have a player up front that they can play off. They're not going to walk through this Ukrainian defence. They're still standing, and a free kick given. And Zamora does not like that. He may pick himself a yellow card up as the referee wants a word. He's reaching to the pocket and he will show Zamora the yellow card, and once again emotions running high. Did it deserve the yellow card? Yes. Should the occasion and the emotion be taken into account? I'll let all watching and listening decide. So the difference for me right now is that the Ukrainians have an extra weapon, and they have the number 3, Lubashev, right basically nearly on the goal line, and he's standing right in front of Cruz. Cruz behind him, you can barely see him. Lubashev is that big. And they do have the option of playing it into Lubashev and then playing off him. It's an option that the Spaniards have not been able to show. Just allows the Ukrainians, as we see there, to play the ball through the channels. But they broke it up. Canestro will take it on, but Lubashev wins it back. It's at the feet of Ivan Hutz. He'll knock it down to Lubashev. Across to the number 2, Hetamanov. Across to the goal scorer who lets the ball go out of bounds. Avramov and Spain get a break. Cruz. Cornejo. Back to Cruz. He'll flip it left. It's Canestro. Canestro goes for the toe poke, but that will be quite easy for the goalkeeper Skotnikov. Substitutions on, given away by Shvets. He's not done that much in the first half. And wholesale substitutions really, apart from the number 2, Hetamanov, coming to the game. The number 8 is in the game. Pavlenko, he's down there to watch the run. And here's the danger man. And will Zamora find that without the impressive number 5, Avramov, Zamora now goes to the bench? Would that have been his chance? Serda comes into the game. Also the other Cornejo. Mendez, number 6, is in the game, and the number 5, Crevelli. It's a good ball, but it's well cut out by the Ukrainians, and would have been a replica strike of the Ukrainians in the first half, kind of lulling the defence to sleep. The ball does go out, but just going back to that sideline play, it's kind of lulling the defence to sleep, and they tried to catch them unawares, but the Ukrainians scoring that way in the first half, you can't kid a kidder. Ball is with Mendez. It's back to Mendez. It's a beautiful ball, but he's unable to control. That is the issue. These Ukrainians will force you to play at a 10 out of 10 level to beat them, and when you don't, you're going to lose. Shvets plays that ball wide. It's a good strike from a narrow angle, not really capable of scoring. But Havlenko maybe has a sighter on that goal from the right. Mendes will bring the ball out. He goes to Cornejo on the left-hand side. I would like to see possibly Mendes playing with Cruz and Zamora down that left-hand side for anyone to unlock this stingy, more than stingy defensive record of the Ukrainians. It must be them. Good tackle by Mendes, hits the referee, and it was in play. It was in play, and the Spaniards on the far side stand up and make some noise, and that ball has gone in. And is that the killer goal? Out of absolutely nothing. To be fair, the Spaniards have switched off. They're having a go at the referee because he did stop the ball going out and then said, well, it would have gone out if I hadn't have been in the way. Not sure what the ruling is on that. But what a finish. The ball went down the left, and we've probably seen that on the replay. Just cannoned off anyone to go into that roof of the net, and surely now this game is out of reach. Ukraine have made a habit of winning 3-0. They've done it in their 2 group stage games, conceding 0. Will history repeat itself? Probably one of the more peculiar stats, winning 3-0 in 3 games every single game. Spain will have to come back soon. Speculative shot easily taken by the number 12 in goal, Anton Humanic. It's a good turn by Avramov, and he's been at the heart of everything. Number 9 going off and back into the game. The big target man up front, Lubashev. Having an outlet, such a luxury when you're under pressure right now for the Ukrainians, as he's occupying Mendes on that back post. The shot will come in, and there you can see the tailored play, nicely headed back, beautifully controlled by the number 2, Hetmanov, as he plays the ball up front to the target man. What skill by the big fella, beautiful skill. Not only so, as we're back in the arena, the Spaniards are clearly unhappy. I thought that possibly was a back pass. Clearly not happy with the result, as the Ukrainians, they feel, have got away with another one. But their emotions are running high. They're not going to enjoy being 3-0 down. And it's quickly taken. The Spaniards would have been number 6 that was going to go free, and emotions now running high. Mendes is losing his cool. Cornejo will take the ball out, it'll come to Mendes. So much at stake. And he was trying to take that ball on his own. Not a strategy I think is going to work. Tough doesn't mean fisticuffs and emotion. It means making the right decision under pressure. Ball goes out to Serda. He's back with Mendes. He'll have the courage to come out. And is that the wrong decision? Very, very lucky to get away with that one. There was a foul, but on a different day, Lubashev would have been in the clear. Serda picks it up on the right. It's kicked out by Avramov. Mendes comes inside. Taken away And Mendez with the sliding tackle. The Ukrainians are aware that emotions are running high for the number 6 for Spain. 13 minutes remaining, and Ukraine in such a commanding position. 3 to the good against Spain. The ball is wasted for once. Usually the set-piece kings of this tournament, Ukraine, waste that one. So, a shoe-in already into that final of Ukraine, and barring something absolutely spectacular that no other team have done this competition, it looks like the men in yellow already have one foot in the door into this final. The question is, can Japan rise to the occasion and beat the number 2 host nation, England? We'll see that coming up in a couple of hours. It's a nice flick on by Canestro, but it's in the hands of the ever reliable Humanek. Ball to the target man. There he is again, holding up play. Ukraine still want to progress, still want to create tempo. Balance there. He comes back right across to Lubashev. He'll knock it right to Avramo. Ball is out of bounds, and to the frustration of the Spaniards, it will be a Ukraine ball. Substitutions coming into the game for the second time. We see Robert Trember on this left-hand side. The target man will take over number 7. Lovely touch by the big guy, just doesn't come off. But Švec is definitely an asset right now, because you can play the ball up to him, relieve pressure, and let time tick off that clock. Speaking of time ticking off that clock, this first half went by exceptionally quick. Talking to the people around the arena who know the game inside out are saying, because both of these teams want to play properly and want to play some great futsal, to get the ball in and knock it around, the time keeps going. It's when in the early stages you have the tacticians knocking the ball out and the clock stops. It seems to go on forever. Cornejo has the ball at his feet. It goes across. Ball is down the right hand side. 2 number 9s go at it. Cornejo it was, and then the number 9, Szczasny, was knocked into the table at the far side. Zamora must be frustrated. He's had absolutely no chance to go forward. Canestro has the ball. It's broken up by Švec, and it's played out nicely, and some good triangle football by this team Ukraine. And not only can they be structured and physical, look at how they're playing their way out of defence. Absolute precision. Comes in the ball and it's right to Švec, and there's the outlet man. And Canestro did take a shove, nothing intentional doing, but the number 8 goes down. Pavlenko. He goes down and hits the deck, but a well-earned breather by Švec as he's led the line impeccably. Just under 10 minutes gone in this one. We're approaching the last quarter of this game. It's a good ball down the line. That is the frustration of Saul Zamora. He's just not had the chance to face his opponents up. He's not had any one-on-one situations to go at. He's stuck to his task. You must give him credit for that. He's played with a high intensity and a lot of passion, but he's just been strategically marked out of this game, which has proved to be very, very frustrating for not only him, but the whole of this Spanish team. Cornejo will have it on the left side. It looks like it's the end of the road for these Spaniards, unless they can score probably within these next 2 minutes to make this interesting. Zamora tries to cut inside. Cornejo switches to Cruz. Cruz back to Cornejo. He'll go back to Zamora. Zamora turns, nutmegs his defender, but No one there for Spain, and they have to go back and regurgitate this attack. Cruz goes down the right-hand side. Doesn't want to lose the ball. Canestro goes back, and Ukraine will be more than happy for the Spanish team to knock the ball around and just pick up the pieces and play their way out of defence, just as they've done now. Beautiful strategy by this management team of Ukraine. The ball goes down the side. Canejo will win it. It's a good tackle by Artem Shazny. Ball is across at the feet of Zamora. It will go across to Canejo. It's hit, and it's more hope. Really, didn't really have a chance of going in. It will probably be the closest that the Spaniards have come since the opening 5 minutes. Ball's down the line, and that was the strategy in the first half. It was a good run by the Ukrainian Avramov, who potentially for me could be the man of the match. He's been the difference maker. He's covered a lot of ground, but there are yet so many Ukrainians you could pick, and with just over 9 minutes remaining, Spaniards just look like they're not going to score. But here's a chance. It goes into the box. Spanish fans want a free kick. Definitely not. A good challenge from the Ukrainians. The referee already speeding up play, counting down those 5 seconds. And a bad ball by Cornejo. Canestro has to go retrieve it. We'll go back to Cornejo, a better ball in reply. Bad ball by Cruz. And really now it's training ground stuff as the Ukrainians are keeping possession and knocking that ball down. Substitution made, the number 9 back on. Artem Shazny, who's quietly had a great game. He goes again, and he has a chance to put this game out of reach. It should have been 4. Good ball by the Spaniards. Cross line. Canejo looks absolutely shattered, and a hit and hope by Canestro, and the body language now is telling of this Spanish team. Heads have gone down, arms have gone out. So frustrating. They've had such a good tournament, but have they met their match? Ukraine, country in so much turmoil over these last few years, but this partially sighted men's team having their moment right now. They are putting on a show, and if you are watching, you are a fan of Ukraine, you must be absolutely loving this. The boys are representing you so well. 3 players coming of all those 3 goals, and the first goal, a really committed run by the number 5, and the next 2 goals you will see are all about who reacts first. You know, both from the sideline, both quick reactions, and that is the difference. The Ukrainians have been structured, they've been well strategically coached, they've been committed, they've played together, and more importantly, they've been clinical for those 3 goals. I probably will remember, including the goals, 4 or 5 chances. They've converted 3 of those. What a team. So with just under 8 minutes remaining, the Spaniards will start play deep in their own half. The Ukrainians won't come over half. They'll just sit back and wait for the Spaniards to take it on at them. The Spanish team reluctantly do so. Zamora is back in the game. He's worked tirelessly, changing strategy as the number 6, Mendes, has been pushed up front to try create something as a target man. But what a ball, and what a crossfield run, and should have been 4. bounding through on goal out of absolutely nowhere. It's Artem Shazny. And the creativity of this Ukraine team. And right there, nothing. Absolutely no glimmer of hope for the Spanish team. And through on goal, one-on-one opportunity for a number 11. Sliding tackle for Zamora, probably did enough to put him off. But Huts right there was on his own for a split second, and the Ukrainians are told, just sit down on the bench. This one is more or less in the bag. You don't need to pick up any yellow cards. Everybody move back and sit down. It's intercepted well once again by the Ukrainians. Played out all the way to the other end. Serda will hand it back to the goalkeeper. It's back at the feet of Serda for Spain. Just coming across the halfway line any second now. The ball is played out. Zamora will go back into his own half. It's on the left side with Serda. He'll knock it wide. It's with the number 11. Galvez. Galvez will go back to Zamora. He'll play it in. Mendes will turn and shoot, and Zamora for once did make the run. Mendes was just unaware that he was open on the left-hand side, and the referee having a word with both of those players. And good refereeing here. I am not a referee, and by no means do I know all the rules, but I do know when emotions are handled well. And the referee bringing in both players and just giving them the chance to settle them down before handing out any more yellow cards. Great job by that man. Potential handball from the Ukrainians, but the Spaniards will be wanting everything. It was definitely ball to hand. And Avramov will pick the ball up right in the centre. He'll knock it back to the number 2. With nowhere to go for once. Oleg Hetamanov just whacks that one to safety, but at this stage of the game, with approaching 5 minutes left, a commanding 3-0 lead, it doesn't matter where that ball is, as long as it's not in the back of the Ukraine net. The ball goes out, and it looks like a timeout's been called by the Ukraine team. Just a chance to have a word with his players. The coach for Ukraine, Miklavov Shekhelo, will just have the chance to discuss maybe a few issues. One of those things he'll be mentioning is we don't need to pick up any bookings, we don't need to lose anyone for this final game. But right now, these England fans in attendance, also Japanese, are in the building. They will be surely looking and thinking, can they find a way to go up against this Ukrainian team? Haven't conceded a goal yet in the tournament. 3-0 in every single game they've played, and it looks like history is going to repeat itself. Ukrainians, ranked number 1 in the world, current World Games holders, defeating England 3-0 the last time they met in a final. Can England get to the final? And on home soil, will it be an advantage? But the concerned look of not only the Spaniards on that bench over there, but also the players in the stands, because we are witnessing an absolute juggernaut in this Ukrainian side. Not put a foot wrong, doesn't look like it's going to happen. The equivalent of Manchester City in the Premier League, it just doesn't look like they can be touched. I'm sure both Japan and England will want to give it a go, and we'll have more than that to say. Looking at the other team's results, Japan have winners within their team. Also, England dominant in that last 3-0 game that they played. They will fancy their chances against anyone. So all to play for the rest of this competition. But you can almost say Ukraine will be playing for all the marbles tomorrow. Ball is back with Cruz. He knocks it wide. It's back at the feet of Cruz. It's in to the big number 11 and number 7. Radam Svets just gives him a little bit of a knock. He said, I'm the bully on the block. Don't challenge me, as he's not only played with finesse, he's also reminded the Spaniards that he's the main man. The ball is at his feet right now. He holds the defender off. And the ball goes back inside. An intelligent run by the number 8 and a good tackle by Cruz, and it will be a corner ball. Good run from Havalenko. Havalenko will have the ball back. It's a nice ball, and it's back to Havalenko. He'll fire it across goal. And Švec was in the vicinity, but knew nothing about it as it came at him like a rocket. Straight down the other end. It's with the Ukrainian keeper. He'll outlet the ball and will build again, as he will come up and pick that one up. And it's thrown to the number 4, Robert Trember. Robert Trember will take his time. He'll go across field, and there's that diagonal ball, and here's a chance. He's round the keeper, keeps it in play, keeps his balance, and what athleticism by the number 9, Artem Shazny, as he went from left to right, rounded the keeper, could have pulled the trigger a little bit too late as it went out of bounds, but he somehow kept it in, and Shazny will take the kick. The Spaniards claiming for absolutely everything here, saying that there's too much time, but they're sending a player all the way down the other end. As the number 11, Galvez, gets the ball out of bounds, but it's definitely too late. These Italians. Out comes the keeper. Strategical substitution as they've subbed the goalkeeper off, and they've brought on Mendes, who'll play on the left-hand side. He's wearing the blue jersey to signal that he is the one that's the keeper, but it allows them to have an extra man over in attack. Conversely, it leaves them extremely vulnerable in the back, and all the Ukrainians have to do is just work a little bit harder. Maybe all things being considered, Spanish could have done that earlier on in the game, but you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what's going to happen. But the ball is at the feet of Mendes, who's the makeshift goalkeeper, and he's come out. It goes across, and Mendes runs into the box, and there's a long-range speculative shot by the number 3 as it goes offense to defense. When the Spaniards are on the attack, they'll make that substitution. Mendes will fly onto that court, but as soon as Ukraine regain possession, the goalkeeper will come back on. And to counteract to that, the Ukrainians just have to keep this ball. Easier said than done. There's an errant pass by the number 5 for Ukraine as it sails out of bounds. There we go again. Offense to defense. The ball will be with Mendes. Canestro takes it across, passes it back to Cruz. It'll go to Mendes on the left-hand side. He's the man in the blue jersey. He's the extra man up front and attack. It comes across, and if Ukraine could have got that ball, it would have been 4-0. Spain not interested whether they lose by 4 or 5. They want to see if they can pick up a couple of goals by having that man over and make this one interesting for the last minute or so. But to be fair, doesn't look like it's any different. And Ukraine stand up, and like a big yellow wall, they just won't be permeated. Canestro will have another chance to come forward. 1 minute 10 left in this game. Ukraine leads Spain by a commanding 3-0. It looks like the end of the game, and I'm sure it will be, but Mendes will want one more final crack, and Canestro hits that ball out. The substitution is made for attacking player for the goalie to come back on, but would it really matter at this point? Surely winning the ball back and giving up an open goal would be a strategy. It, for one, encourages the Ukrainians to go and have a shot, which means the Spaniards can get the ball back. Lost the ball again, and maybe that is the last chance to make the substitution, and the Spaniards really are probably going to let this one go. They want to keep playing to the final whistle. They want to keep playing till the final whistle. They've done that all the game, and it will be important for them to just keep going and leave everything out there. So whether there is 43 seconds or 43 minutes on the clock, they're just going to keep playing. It's a Ukraine ball, and right now the Ukraine, sensing their moment in the final, has once again come. What a performance by the men in yellow. They're taking it down to this last 30 seconds of the game. Ball is sprayed out. Still the substitutions are being made, but it's too little, too late for this Spanish team. Just talking about Spain, how well have they represented themselves in this competition? They will still have a game to play for. Tomorrow they will play for 3rd or 4th place, which, if you didn't know, reflects on the world rankings and is exceptionally important. A long heave there by the Ukrainians. They're having a laugh and a joke. Chance to get on the score sheet for the number 2, Oleg Hetmanov. But yeah, Spain will be back with us tomorrow in that 3rd and 4th place game. Also playing for 5th, 6th and 7th, we have France, Italy and Turkey. But next, as this game ends, we will have Japan against England. But the Spaniards going over and shaking the Ukraine team's hands, and they will know, even though they didn't get the job done, they were beat by the better team. Sometimes when you lose, it's very frustrating if you don't leave it all out there, but you can always go, and in about an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 days or 2 weeks for some of these players, depending on how intense they are, they will look back and reflect and say they were just beaten by an absolutely outstanding Ukrainian team. From the University of Wolverhampton, it finishes Ukraine 3, Spain 0. Stick with us, get on that live stream for that next game. It's the hosts, England, looking to redeem themselves from disappointment in the women's final yesterday. They go up against Japan, and with the potential to beat anyone, we don't know what's in store. But we know one thing, Ukraine going undefeated, 3 games played, 3-0 every single game, no games conceded. We'll see you later on in the University of Wolverhampton. It's Jason Swain, and we'll be back with you soon. Take care, get some refreshments. Bye for now.